still week 5, and it's the moment you've all been waiting for, the moment I've been waiting for, is to teach you guys about state machines. So I'm going to try to do that really fast too. Oops, this is not a state machine. Actually, it is. Okay, so state machine, I show this sometimes. A state machine is anything that has a bunch of different states. It goes to one state, to another state, another state. So the example that I always give in class is that of a washing machine. And so washing machine first is just sitting there waiting for you to do your laundry in it, right? So you open it up, you throw your laundry in it, maybe you need to stick quarters in it or something like that, right? So back in the day when I was doing my laundry in the dorm or something, I had to put quarters in the machine to do my laundry. So I would push the quarters, and then all of a sudden the machine would start filling up with water. It'd keep filling up, and that was state 1. That was the water filling up state, and then it would stop, right? And what would make it stop? I was asked this in class, and somebody goes, oh, there's probably a sensor there. And that's right, there's a sensor. And then what happens? It goes to the next state, which is like the agitation state. And so the clothes are being agitated, right? They're being moved around, and they're getting washed and stuff. That's really nice. And then when does that stop? What happens next? The next thing that happens is that the water starts draining out, right? Because it was soapy, and it's going to be the rinse cycle next, right? So what makes it stop doing the agitation? You know? It's like a timer, right? A timer goes on. It's been 10 minutes of agitation, so now it's time to stop. So the timer makes it go to the next state. So even if this state machine here, this could be like the washing state or the filling up water state, and then this could be the agitation state, and then when the timer finishes, it goes to this state, which is the draining state, and then there's another sensor that'll make it go to some other state. So this is not exactly right because there are more states in the state machine, but you get the idea. So even when you're playing a video game, like in a bar or something, right? You've got to stick the quarters in. This is just sitting there in its sort of demo state, right? And then you stick the quarters in, and it activates. It goes to another screen, right? You maybe are creating a game, and there's a splash screen. So there's the splash screen state, and then you press a button, or press something on the screen, and then it goes to the playing state, and then there's a win state and a lose state. So those are all state machines, and I'm going to show you guys how to code that, right? So to me that's exciting, because a lot of times when we do coding, we're not sure, we can make a picture on the screen, but we don't know how we would change it. So there's a great thing that I call a branching mechanism that'll help you guys do that. So go to empty example and duplicate it again, and let's call this state, as in my state, as in state machine. Okay, underneath here I've got sketch.js, and we'll do the whole create canvas. I should really just change my empty example to have a create canvas in it, shouldn't I? Okay, so in order to make maybe 3 different screens happen, like maybe you want to be in state 1, like the splash screen, and then you want to be in state 2, the game playing screen, and then like there will be a win or a lose screen or something like that, right? So how would we know what screen we're in? We'll have text, right? So here we'll say, this is the splash screen, and then we'll make that at 100, 100, okay? And then let's say we also want text for this is the game playing screen, okay? 100, 100, kind of the same place, right? And then maybe you'll have a yay, you won screen, 100, 100, okay? So how do we get these all to not play at the same time? Because right now they're going to play at the same time. If I run this, let's see what happens actually. And they'll be running on top of each other over and over again. So let's put a background command so we can actually read it. And if I look at this, it's state here, it's going to look like this. Yeah, they're all writing on top of each other, okay? So how do I get that to separate? So the way I do it is there's this great command called switch. There's a switch command. So the way it works is you could switch on a variable. So I'm going to call this my state to figure out what state I'm in. And right now I'm going to start at state 0, and then I'm going to go to state 1, state 2, state 3, state 4, state 5. Okay, so And we'll keep the background command back here. Actually, we'll put the background command in with the first state. The first state's just going to be the splash screen state. Okay, so you write the word switch like a stick, and then my state, or like a switch, like a light switch. Switch command has a beginning and ending curly bracket. So here's where the beginning one is, and the ending one's going to be way at the bottom here. Okay. So you look, they're nested curly brackets. Here's the beginning of the draw and the end of the draw. People make so many mistakes forgetting leaving this off. Okay, so don't. And then here's the beginning of the switch, and here's the ending of the switch. And the way this works is you have cases. So if my state was 0, it's going to run this stuff until you have a break command. Break. If the my state variable had a 1 in it, which it doesn't, it's got a 0, then we'll run this stuff here. And maybe we'll have a red background. Background red. And then we need to break. We need to break in order to separate each of these cases. And then we'll have a case, in case that variable my state is 2, this will be like the winning state. So we'll have background blue, because they won. It's a blue background, yay. And then always you need a break command, okay? So the way this code is going to run, it's going to stick a 0 into this my state variable. It's going to run the setup. It's going to make a canvas that's 800 by 800. And then it's going to go here. Sometimes there's code here, like there's a background. Maybe you'll have a big image in the background or something like that. But here's where we're going to start switching. And it's going to look and say, oh, what's inside my state? Oh, my state's got 0. Okay. Well, in case it's 0, I'll run this code. And once it hits this break, it'll jump out. It'll look for the right curly bracket. It'll jump out. It'll run code here. So here I could be like, I could have like a score command text. The score is, sometimes you would have that, right? And I'll put the score, how big is this? I'll put it at like 100, 700, so it's really at the bottom of the screen. Okay, and I'll make that white. So, white. There. Okay, so you can have tons of text underneath here too. This is just like, in here, it's like a tree with branches. You're either going to go to this one, or you're going to go to this one, or you're going to go to this one, depending on this variable. So let's see, what do you expect it to do? What do you think it'll do? It's going to just run this code, because at the top here, my state is 0. Let's see. So this is the splash screen, and the score is, yay. So now how do I get it to advance to the next, how do I get it to play, to do the playing? How do I get it to do this? Well, my state's got to be 1 in order for it to run this. And somehow I need to change it. So I'm going to change my state to be 1. I'm going to stick a 1 in that variable. Way at the bottom here, I'll make a mouse released. Remember our function mouse released? Mouse released with a D at the end. Mouse released. This will happen, like the draw loop will be running and doing all this stuff, and then this will happen if somebody clicks and releases the mouse. So in here, the minute they click the mouse, I'm going to say my state equals my state plus 1. Well, I'll just write my state plus plus. How about that? So this code will be running. It'll be in case 0 because my state's going to be 0, and then all of a sudden it might be right here, like right here. It might be going printing out the H, and somebody clicked and released the mouse. It's going to go, oh, mouse released, and it's going to go, oh, what was in that little cup holder of my state before it was 0, now it's going to be a 1 because we're adding 1 to it. Okay, and then the next time it runs through here, it's going to go, oh, my state is 1 now, it's going to do that. And the next time somebody clicks again, it's going to go to this code here. Okay, it won't run the rest of this code. I think this is pretty obvious, but we'll see if you guys get it or not. So, resetting this. Okay, so this is splash screen. Now I'm going to click, and now we're in state 1. Then I'll click again, and now we're in state 2. And then I'm going to click again, and what's happened now? Nothing's happening. Why is nothing happening? Let's take a look here at our code. So actually, I've clicked a bunch more times, and every time I click, it's adding 1 to my state. So nothing's changing now, like it's not changing the background or anything. It's just left this, and I'm probably in case 3 and case 4, and there's no case 3, so it's just, it's doing this and there's nothing. So it's printing this score. So what can I do to make sure that the case never goes above the last case, like my state never goes above this? Like basically what I want is if my state goes greater than 2, I want maybe to set it to 0 again, right? Remember how to do that? You pause it. Let me put my face here. Pause it. See if you can figure it out. What you want to do, I'll even write the pseudocode, okay? Pause it, and then I'll give you the pseudocode. Okay, so the pseudocode is if my state got bigger than what? Than 2, because there's no case 3 here, so bigger than 2, then make my state 0 again. Right? Okay, how do you do that? Pause it and see if you can figure it out. Okay, did you figure it out? I don't know if you guys are doing this or not, but if my state is greater than 2, then curly bracket, my state equals 0. Is that familiar to you? Remember how when we had the little balls going across the screen? Oh, if the x position of the ball got greater than 0, or sorry, greater than width, I want it to be 0 again. I want it to start again, right? We've got the same thing here. Remember I said you're going to see that over and over again? So there it is. Okay, let's see if that works. So I'm resetting it, and there's a splash screen. Now click. It'll be my state equals 1. And in fact, oh man, I can do this too. Look, inspect here. If I go to the console, why is it taking me so long? Oh my God. I'm waiting for the console to come up here. Okay, if I go to console here, like look at this. Check this out. Console. I can type in my state here, and it'll tell me what it is. Look, it's 1. If I click over here now, click. If I enter after this, now it's 2. Okay, and now what do we expect if I click on it again? It to be 0, and it is. I click over here. Well, it's not letting me, so I'll just type it in to get my state. And there's also a debugger that you can use here that'll tell us that we can watch, we can actually watch variables on. So there you have it, okay? So for the next project, you guys are going to have to make a state machine that switches on different things, okay? And one of the ways that you can switch is by the mouse click. So you could have like, you could have a narrative here, like, you know, here's my game character, click. This happened next, and then click, this happened next. So these cases only have backgrounds and text in them, but you guys know now how to put nice typeface in, and you know how to put pictures in too. So you know how to put, you also can figure out how to put sound in, or I'll have a video about that too. And you can put SVGs in, and you can probably put 3D models in. You can put movies in too. It gets a little bit harder, but you guys already know at least how to put pictures in and text. And you can also put moving stuff in too. Right? You can animate. You can put your game character in here. You can have them do different things. So you can play with this for a little while, and you can take a look at what the next assignment's going to be. The next assignment is going to be to make a state machine. All right.